What's going on, guys? Prosto talking back again with my AEW Rampage review for the 20th of the 8th, 2021. And after weeks and like weeks and days of speculation, the trending, the CM Punk is finally back in professional wrestling, and that was the best, like one of the best moments I've seen in wrestling in the last couple of years. Now, people are gonna say in the comments, "Oh, you're on Mark or whatever," but I'm marked over that moment, and we don't get that many moments that buzz around. There's a buzz around pro wrestling, like even the day after Rampage, people still talking about CM Punk. That's how much of a buzz that the wrestling business has. But people, even SummerSlam is on the back burner, and CM Punk is taking on that SummerSlam buzz and that news. It's all about CM Punk. This weekend is going to be about CM Punk. Nobody's going to care about Takeover or SummerSlam tonight. It's going to be about how CM Punk came out and what a reaction he got from his hometown in Chicago. Um, you know, he basically says, he even puts over Britt Baker as well. And this is what I like about AEW. That I like when what I want to see from the AEW fan base is get away from the whole moves and match mindset they have with Meltzer, and focus on the characters. Look at CM Punk. Like, isn't it great that you're not talking about the moves and matches anymore? Well, especially on this show, and you're talking more about CM Punk, and he's putting over somebody like a Britt Baker. Anyway, he called up Darby Allin, and Darby Allin was in the rafters with Sting. I thought this was a great segment to open up Rampage. You've got to start off and get the crowd hooked straight away, and having Punk come out. You don't have to wait till last, and maybe some people want an MJF, but you got to build up to what MJF CM Punk did, and he's still in a feud with Jericho. So I don't want them to rush the whole MJF Jericho feud, because that's probably going to be an all-out match. But CM Punk's going to face Darby Allin, and now they have a big stock on Darby Allin to have him align with Sting and to be CM Punk's first feud in AEW. I'm not the biggest Darby Allin fan, but if he's Punk's first opponent, then it's going to be great things, because he can learn so much from CM Punk. Different styles. He's not going to be one of those what TNA used to do back in the day when they had a TNA and the next WCW or WWE guy go and get some over from WWE or WCW guy. They've actually had a TNA guy, a CM Punk who's the hottest free agent right now in pro wrestling, against a AEW homegrown guy named Darby Allin, and trying to establish Darby Allin. Now people are going to say, "Oh, it's CM Punk a draw, whatever." He's a draw. He's not going to be Rock, he's not going to be Austin, but wrestling changed from 20 years ago. So having this whole mindset of a Rock and Austin. CM Punk has moved the needle, and he will move the needle in AEW, and I think for the better. He's one of the biggest signings. People can talk about Jericho and Big Show and Mark Henry. They've been good acquisitions, but the best and most important signing today was getting CM Punk, and it's a win-win for CM Punk and AEW. CM Punk still gets to do some MMA commentary. He still gets to write his comic books. He still gets to work less dates, but he gets to work other places and earn more money, like New Japan and Ring of Honor and Impact if he wants to go to Impact. And it's just great for overall. Like, this segment was so great. The promo was well delivered. I loved the interaction with Darby Allin and CM Punk. Darby didn't have to say anything in this. Darby didn't have to say anything. It was all CM Punk. It was just so great that they put the stock in Darby Allin. That Darby Allin is the guy, and he could be kind of a big star. And then it's just great. And then you look at the other things that happened on the show. You had the Luchasaurus versus Private Party. It was a whatever match. I didn't care about the match, but Luchasaurus goes over, and at all they have to win the belts. The Jurassic Express have to win the tag belts, because how many chances are you going to give Luchasaurus before the stock kind of fades away with him, and you don't give him the big titles? Like, this is a guy in Luchasaurus that can actually move the needle for the kids demographic in AEW, but Tony Khan and the EVPs are sleeping on Luchasaurus. They're like, "Oh, we want to push Jungle Boy Jack Perry, but we don't want to actually push Luchasaurus, the guy that can sell merch for kids like the mask and maybe dinosaur like figures or whatever. And he can actually move the needle, maybe not in ratings, but he can move the merch needle and actually get people and get kids invested in it. And a kid can go, oh, I want a Luchasaurus action figure or whatever. But they won this tournament and they're going to face the Lucha Bros next week. Then we had Jay Cargill and her manager Mark Smark, and they're hyping up their match with Kiera Hogan. I thought this was well done here. I'm loving the protection and the build up with Jay Cargill, how they're protecting her from her from obviously her being green in the ring, but she's decent on the mic as well. So they're actually building up for a potential feud for Britt Baker as well. I really think that this match was good, and I liked how this Kiera Hogan and Jay Cargill match was a squash match. Not every match has to go 25-30 minutes and have a 20-minute time limit, because AEW needs to start thinking about getting away from the hardcore fan base and thinking about gaining casual fans. Now you have CM Punk, who has actually been away from wrestling for 7 years, who has been to the UFC and started to do some movies as well himself. Try to captivate some casual fans and turn those casual fans into actual fans of AEW, so they can watch Rampage and they can watch AEW and go, who is Jay Cargill, who is X, Y, and Z, and they can get invested in it. That means you can make more money, because CM Punk's on a big contract. You've been all out, no pun, but you went all out for CM Punk, and you need to make that money back, because he's on a big payday, and he's not going to be taking a pay cut or whatever. He's on the big dollars, and the best thing is you need to find a way how to get these casual fans into AEW and expand your fan base. Now, it's good having hardcore fans, but that only gets you so far and gets you only so far in the ratings. You need to actually make sure that you have some casual fans and the kids, and it has a different variety. So you're not just going, oh my god, we're having all these hardcore fans who geek out about the match and the moves, which actually doesn't matter. What matters is the characters and just building up a guy or a girl and making them the star and making your wrestling product better. I mean, just on this last episode of Rampage, nobody was talking about any matches, because ever since AEW's been a thing, they've always talked about the moves, matches. But this show, it's all about CM Punk, and that's great how they've, in one night, CM Punk's changed their mindset from stop talking about the moves and matches, which don't fucking mean anything, just because Meltzer says 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. These 5 stars don't mean fucking anything, because they're just imaginary. They don't mean anything. CM Punk's changed that because he's put over Britt Baker, saying it's every boy's dream to be over like Britt Baker was in Britsburg last week. He's talking about elevating Darby Allin, a homegrown AEW guy. Jay Cargill's getting a good shine here with Kiera Hogan, which was a good squash match. Then you go to the main event. Then you had the interview segment with Mark Henry and Garcia Marks. That was a really good interview segment they had. Then you go to this main event of the night. It was the tag team trio of 2.0 and Garcia versus Marks, Kingston, and Darby Allin. The babyfaces go over, they attack the heels, everybody goes home happy. And I did forget to mention that the CM Punk promo, that he did say that they're going to have ice cream bars. Yes, that's right. 10 years later, the ice cream bars are finally a thing, but not in WWE. In AEW. And also, I forgot to mention that promo that he did kind of make around to WWE, saying he left pro wrestling in 2005 and came back in 2021. Which he's saying is sports entertainment, WWE, and taking a cheap shot at WWE. And normally I would criticize it and say, oh, why are they talking about WWE? But CM Punk, he has a point, because he had a bad experience with WWE and stuff. So let it slide, I guess, for this once, because overall your end game is actually to see how your audience is going to grow now that Punk's in AEW, and how many people can he actually get into actually making more ratings. Can he actually go over 2 million viewers? Now, I'm not saying that Punk's going to get 4 million like an Austin rating view, but can he actually get AEW to 2 million viewers? And then after that, they can think about maybe getting to 3 million, and then their mindset can change, and then it'd be better for AEW. And they need to have this Darby Allin CM Punk match on last All In. I don't want to hear this bullshit with Kenny Omega and Christian, because does that really need to main event? We've seen it before in Rampage. This is Darby Allin CM Punk. This is a fresh match. It's in Punk's hometown of Chicago. It has to go on last. Punk hasn't wrestled in 7 years. Not every world title match has to be the main event. Kenny Omega's world title reign hasn't been that good either, so why does it deserve a main event spot on All In, All Out? But anyway, guys, leave your thoughts in the comments, guys, and